Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning into my channel. As always, make sure you guys subscribe in order to get content. And I'm going to be starting podcasts up here pretty quick. So stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned. Now, my website is up. I have a new website. I talked about it before, but it is now officially up. So if you'd like to check it out and book an appointment with me, go to soulworkwithjennyg.com. My old website is gone. So if you went to my old website, you're not going to find it. So let's talk about what's coming up this week, you guys. Like, oh my gosh, we have a plot twist incoming and expect the unexpected, unexpected changes coming in. So that can get a little nervy for some people. So this is going to be between the 18th and the 24th of April. So, whenever we have those unexpected or plot twists, I'm like, you know what, Spirit, I am open up to abundance, prosperity, positive, beautiful changes. Thank you for making things flow abundantly every day. So it's very important to keep a positive mindset as we're going through changes. The only thing that is constant in life is change. We can see that. The new world is here and it's coming in stronger and stronger. I talked about that on my predictions video for this year. So a lot of my predictions has already happened and is coming in. So it comes down to how we adapt to certain things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with so many things coming in very quickly. AI taking over. It's going to cause a lot of issues, to be very blunt. The AI is also very good. It can help with many different things. However, it's not for everything. So it's just be very mindful of that, you guys, trying to learn different things about that. I mean, I took a workshop on it quite some time ago to get a little bit more familiar. I mean, I don't use AI in my business. When you're speaking with me, when you're booking an appointment, it's me. I will not ever use AI. What AI can do is psychic reading. Seriously. I book appointments myself. I won't have some AI person energy doing it. No, it doesn't work that way in my world. So let's get on with this. So, as we're entering the 18th and the 19th, you're still going to be feeling that energy of the new moon in Aries. So I talk about that new moon energy in my last video. So you can go back and you'll see I'm talking about a lot more what's happening and how to work with it more. So we're also moving into Taurus season this week. So happy birthday, Taurus. How many of you guys are Taurus? You know, this can affect you, of course. It affects everybody. You know what I mean? So now with this energy on the 18th and 19th, just really pay attention because there's going to be some very important incoming messages for you. So important conversations, not just, hey, how you doing? These conversations that you're going to be having with certain people, it can be life-changing, for the good, for the positive. You got to stay in that positive mindset because, it can be very life-changing. Depends where you're at, how you're looking at things, how you want your life to go. So it very well could be more about love and romance with these more important conversations coming in. Incoming surprises as well during this time. Maybe all of a sudden you'll hear from your person that you're like, oh my gosh, I finally heard from my person, or your person is saying, you know what, let's move in together, let's get engaged, let's buy a home together, or let's commit. I want to commit to you exclusively, and so on. So you're going to know exactly what happens for you. So you're still going to feel that new moon energy, as I mentioned. So a lot of truths are coming out, surprises. There's always the good news, right? We need more good news, but it's on your mindset where it's at. You're going to be more disciplined and take more responsibility right now during this time as well. So right now it's very karmic, especially with relationships. So if you're entering a new relationship or with your current relationship, it's very karmic. It can be very karmic. So make sure you know what you're wanting. If you're in a toxic relationship, pay attention to this, you guys, because that's going to continue on. And I have people say, well, now my person is doing all of these things. Oh my God. This is when you really need to pause, reflect on your relationship, and look at the reality of, wow, is this working or not? And be honest with yourself. You can't change your person. They can only change when they're ready themselves. So your decisions right now are very karmic. It can be for the good, but it can also be for the not too good. Sometimes we have to repeat certain things over and over until we're like, I give up, I'm done, I've learned my lessons. Karmic consequences, so be very mindful of the decisions you're making right now, because this can be very life changing. A lot of things can happen. So really think through first before making certain decisions on the 18th and the 19th. But just make sure you prioritize yourself. Prioritize what has to be done, self-love, self-care, all of that. So just be very mindful, you know what I mean? Very mindful. People from the past are coming back as well. You know, I mean, there's people from the past that can come back as, oh wow, let's get together. It's so awesome to see you and hear from you, or it can be like, it's just not going to happen. So go on your own flow with what works for you. So 20th and 21st, happy birthday, Taurus. It's Taurus season. Taurus like to be grounded. It can bring in central energy. It could be like, wow, I want to get more grounded. How can I get grounded? Go outside for a walk, get in touch with Mother Nature is the fastest way and the most natural way to get back grounded. Get away from the noise of the city, the noise of everything. How many of you, if you look at when you go for a nature walk in quiet areas, you start to let go and you start to calm down. So you're going to be more focused on building a more solid foundation right now during this time. You know, you're going to be letting go and healing. Maybe that on the 18th and the 19th, your partnership ended and you're going to be healing because you're going to see your worth more. It's like, I don't deserve that. I don't know. I'm done. So know your worth, because when you start healing, your power does start coming back, because you're taking a stand and you're like, I deserve better than this. So you very well will be more in tune with your physical body right now as well. So maybe you're like, you know what? I got to start working out more. I got to start eating more nutritious, healthy foods. I got to start letting certain habits go. Maybe I'm going to go on a fast. Maybe I'm going to do smoothies. Maybe I'm going to add more protein in my diet. Maybe I'm going to build up weights and do some weight training, all of that. So really pay attention to your body right now. With body language, we can hear of, oh my gosh, I'm feeling bloated, or, oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not a drinker, but I did have a glass of wine last week, actually a couple glasses of wine, and I really felt it the next day. And I'm like, I just had a couple of glasses of wine, but it's like, oh my gosh, I really felt that, you know. So our body gets affected in different ways. Sometimes I can have a glass of wine and I can really feel it the next day. I mean, it's not very often I do, but sometimes it's like, I like to sit back and have a glass of wine or something like that. So make sure you're eating. I really didn't eat much either when I really think about it. So make sure you have something to eat as well. So this is the time when you will be more health conscious as well. You're going to be trusting your vision even more with where you're heading, but just don't rush things. People are like, oh, I have no patience for this or this or that. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it. You can. What happens? When there's delays, it's God's protection from stopping things and stopping you in your tracks to really think about this. Delays. We don't like delays. Do you want to get on a flight? Your flight's delayed for 3 hours. Would you rather get on your flight when there's engine trouble? Of course not. I would rather, okay, we got a 2 or 3 hour delay. Nobody likes that, but seriously think about it. Delays, roadblocks are for reasons. So just really be more mindful. That's what I'm saying. Think about what you guys want to do on the 18th and the 19th. What decisions you make, it's very karmic. It can be karmic for the good. Maybe you're like, you know what, that's ended. I'm moving on. I have more of a peace of mind. When you've made a decision and you're like, you know what, I feel more at peace with this decision. You've made the right decision. And we have hard decisions to make at times, and it can be very emotional and sad, but sometimes we have to let certain things go. So see how you feel with that. So I'm just saying, you got to pay attention. So as we enter the 22nd and the 23rd, you might find your sleep's going to be a little bit on and off. You could be a little bit more restless right now. So it could be very creative for you. So really pay attention to your ideas, your creativity, your projects, all of that. Start writing things down. Don't hold back with communicating with someone either. And communicating with someone else could be business, but make sure you're communicating from the heart. Like, keep it real, be really honest, speak your truth. It can be a really good day for good fortune, abundance, prosperity. Unexpected messages are coming in as well. Plot twists. Plot twists with love again on this time. The whole week, plot twists. Expect the unexpected. And it can be really good. Like it can be very transformational. Maybe there's something you guys have been waiting for quite some time that's been delayed, and you're like, oh my God. And it comes through this week, and you're like, oh, thank goodness, it's finally here. We finally got our answer, whatever it is. So something will complete itself. Something ends. I mean, and it could be anything, like anything. So new connections are especially coming in as well. So really pay attention with new people you're connecting with. That can be open up new doors for you in many different ways. And it can be new business contacts, new relationships. Maybe you've just met someone, new opportunities, very, like abundance, good fortune, all of those things, right? So the 24th, we have Venus entering Gemini. Things can move more quick. You can be more playful. You can be more flirty, communicating more. You can have more inspiration. Pursue your passions, whatever you're passionate about. Doesn't matter what it is. We all have our different passions. Maybe it's a hobby. Maybe you want to get very festive and creative. Whatever it is, we all have different passions. I mean, I have different passions myself. I like working on my photography and all kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Really pursue that, and what you're really desiring and wanting. Start writing it down. But really pay attention to your dreams right now, your vivid dreams. That started to kick in even last week. So there's a lot of messages incoming in your dreams right now. Could be from your loved ones, like especially when something really stands out, start writing it down. Messages from your guides, messages from your loved ones, like all of that. But just be really careful your mindset is at, because the manifesting is getting higher and higher and higher. So you will take a lot more risks during this time. You're going to be more courageous to step forward. That's always good. I now have the courage to stand forward. Even the color orange, let's say if you're like, gosh, I need more courage for whatever it is, wear the color orange. Courage, courage, courage. One of my teachers many, many years ago, Elias D. Mohan, for those, AKA William David, he was one of my teachers, and I went to stay with him in his place in Cave Creek, Sedona, Arizona. It was quite the experience. I can tell you that. He never invites people over, but I had a really nice connection with him, and I was in his guest room and learned about scorpions. Jenny, look at the scorpion. Oh my gosh. It was so beautiful. It was a really amazing experience. And he had passed on, of course, and I could still feel his energy. The other day, I felt his energy around me stronger. So you can still connect with people who have passed on. I am putting classes together as well. If you go to my website, you'll see a certain section on that. I'm working on that. It takes a little bit of time and money to upload and get things together and so on. So my website is going to continuously expand and expand. So make sure you stay tuned into my website as well, because you start to see things changing and expanding even more on that. I'm working on 101 things as it is. So now let's have a little chat with the cards. I don't use cards when I'm with a client because I'm psychic, clairvoyant, and medium. So I'm going to use a couple of cards, just pull a couple of cards for the collective here on YouTube, just to see what messages are going to be coming through from the spirit world. So sometimes these cards resonate with you guys, sometimes they don't. If there's a message in a card here that wow, I really resonate with that, it's for you. I get messages 24/7 coming in. So even as I'm shuffling the cards or talking, sometimes I'll say, oh, I'm hearing a message for someone. And I'll just say it. It's not for everybody on the planet, of course not. So let's have a little chat with the cards. What's the message on the 18th to the 24th? We have a snowstorm here today. That's normal here for us, mind you. We even had snow in August. Feeling my friend Terry actually around me right now. One of my best friends had passed away at Christmas time. I'm really feeling him around me right now as we're talking. So, your loved ones can be with you at any times. It doesn't matter when, but if you're kind of feeling and sensing their energy, or they come into your mind really strongly, it very well could be them. And you could say, you know what, give me a physical sign if you're here with me. I ask for physical signs myself. Physical signs could be like a knock. You hear a knock or a sound or something physical, right? So if you hear a bang or physical sign right now, maybe it's him. So you can give us a physical sign, Terry, but if you do, I want everybody to hear it or see it, So the card now that has fallen down is awakening. This week, as I mentioned, plot twists, expected, unexpected. Card that came down is giraffe. Look at things in a different way and all will make sense. It's always important to be open. Don't worry if your progress is haltered temporarily. Things will soon start moving again. Yes, remember how I said delays? Delays are God's protection. It really is. Gosh, it's delayed. I've been waiting for something to get done and over with for a little while myself. Like, come on, let's just get this over with. Enough already. So I was getting a little upset, like, seriously, but it's understandable. Just do your part in whatever it is. Focus on you, walk your walk, talk your talk. You have no control over what other people do or how they handle themselves. You only have control over yourself. So be patient, keep being persistent. What an awesome card. I love giraffes. I do. I mean, I like going to the zoo. It's been a little while since I've been to the zoo because I've been to the zoo a few times. One of my favorite zoos that I ever went to was in Honolulu, the Honolulu Zoo in Hawaii. It was so magical, so magical. I was connecting and having a chat with the animals. I'm also an animal communicator. So I was having a chat with, especially an elephant. It was not long after my wolfhound passed away. And I was at the zoo and I was like just heartbroken and in tears. And I started communicating with an elephant. He comes right up to me. We start communicating, and the message he gave me, it was just so heartbreaking. It was so beautiful at the same time. But he acknowledged me. We were communicating. It was just so sacred to me. So you can read about, animal communication on my website. It's all new and everything's changed on there. I give a little bit of insights for a lot of different things on that, and share some stories and so on. But anyways, I'll start rambling on. So let's have a little chat. What's the message from the 18th to the 24th for the collective, for you guys? What is the message from the 18th to the 24th? 18th to the 24th. Peace. Yes. Now, you remember how I said karmic connections, making decisions. Be very careful what decisions you're making on the 18th and the 19th. There can be karmic ramifications. Be very careful. So making decision, when you're making a decision, no matter what it is, when you're feeling more at peace, that, I just feel more at peace that I've done the right thing. You've made the right decision. Look at the peace card coming out. How beautiful is that? You will feel more quiet. Geez, I don't know what to do. Go for a walk in nature. Get yourself back grounded. Turn your phone off, distance away from the noises. Go for a walk, work out, things like that. And you'll just start feeling, I know this is the right decision to make. But some people aren't ready to end things. So they continue their journey with someone or a situation. Don't judge anybody, because certain people have to go through certain things and experiences themselves until they're ready to let go, or till they're ready to, I'm good now. I'm done. I can see there's a clear ending here. Or, maybe I should be more open to doing this or experiencing that. Your own journey, your own journey. The second a soul is born, that's a new journey starts for that person. So let me just see, I'm going to pull from, no, I'm going to pull from this deck here. Actually, I'm hearing this because we're in Taurus season, which you're going to want to be more grounded, more financially secure. You're going to be focused on that. So what is the message from the 18th to the 24th? What card fell out? Grounding. Grounding. Wow. How many of you guys love trees? I mean, I love trees, and I used to paint, and I'm thinking about getting back into it again. Every one of my paintings has a tree in it. Most of them do. Not all of them. I actually had paint pictures and I'd throw them out after, because I'm like, what am I going to do with all these canvases? I kept a couple for myself. You'll see it on my website. All of the photography on my website is by me, and there's a couple of paintings up there I did myself. And they have a special meaning for me, actually, for many reasons. So a tree is all about go hug a tree, go hug a tree. Trees have their own heartbeat, very profound energy. Vision a tree in its roots as you're standing there, and hug a tree. Breathe in that energy. You'll be surprised of what messages come in for you. Not a skinny, tiny little tree, like a tree where you hug a tree and you can feel it, white tree. Wow. Like, these cards come out from the spirit world. I surrender. You have to surrender. So now, if you guys want to book a reading, by all means, go to my new website, soulworkwithjennyg.com. I'm all over social media. Follow me on Instagram, Jenny G Cousins. I'm all over Facebook, all over the place. And I have a group on Facebook, Soul Work with Jenny G. Go to that. There's more content and stuff going on in there. So namaste, you guys. Let me know how you're doing. Please like the video, make some comments, share the video, let me know what's going on. And for goodness sake, subscribe to my channel. Namaste.